patented form of phototherapy. And oh boy. Okay. Okay. It uses specific frequencies of light to activate a specific copper peptide that is proven in scientific studies to enhance stem cell activity. So where did this come from? This is our founder and visionary CEO, David Schmidt. David is a brilliant scientist and researcher. He's a genius inventor. He actually has over 150 patents and patent pendings. He told us one day he was in competition with his uncle who had 150, and he's made it. So, and he can't stop himself. They keep coming. He is committed to 100% age reversal and on the leading edge of phototherapy science and research for over 20 years. David's already conducted dozens and dozens of studies. We have over 80 published clinical studies proving the efficacy of the LifeWave phototherapy. And there's many, many more in the works. So a little bit about the company. This year, LifeWave turns 20, which is really huge. It's an advanced technology company founded in 2004 in an energy enhancing technology that David developed on a government contract for the Navy SEALs to help them stay awake in their mini subs for days on end. It's so effective, it's now used by world-class athletes around the world in almost every sport. We have corporate headquarters and laboratories and manufacturing in California, Utah, and Ireland. Okay, so the word has gotten out, and so it's now being used by pro and amateur athletes around the world. And if you take a look in the media, when you're watching sports shows, just look for those little patches. You can see on the football player on the right above his navel, you'll see that little white patch. Many, many very famous athletes use this as their secret weapon and cutting edge because it enhances athletic performance, strength, stamina, and reduces recovery. And it's their secret weapon. So how does this technology work? So it's based on a form of light therapy called photobiomodulation. It's kind of a mouthful. Let me break it down for you. And the patches contain some very specific combinations of organic materials and crystals. When applied near the body, it doesn't even need to touch the body. When it's 3 inches from the body or touching the body, you can actually even wear it on your clothes. Our body's infrared heat activates these crystals. Then they begin to emit a very specific wavelength of light that stimulates targeted and beneficial biochemical responses in the body. So it's known as photobiomodulation, and it's the foundation of the LifeWave phototherapy patches. So it is a well-recognized and proven scientific principle that specific frequencies of light can cause changes within the body. So a great example is when you go out in the sun, and the frequency from the sun causes our body to create vitamin D. Well, the sun doesn't have vitamin D. The sunlight doesn't have vitamin D. It's the frequency that interacts with our body and causes a biochemical change. There's another frequency of sunlight that causes our body to make melanin, and that's where we get our suntan. So LifeWave's patented technology is based on the same rock-solid scientific principle. So the last 16 years has been focused on anti-aging and regenerative science. And then 2019, there was a global market release. I personally got to be at the last introduction around the world. It was introduced, started in January of 2019, ended up in Los Angeles, the introduction of LifeWave X39. So it's a historical and affordable breakthrough in wellness technology. Some scientists call this the holy grail of health, healing, and regeneration. And there were billion-dollar companies tried to figure out how to activate this copper peptide unsuccessfully, but David Schmidt was able to do it by activating this very specific copper peptide that has many, many, many benefits. And it also, this is something that's really exciting, especially for people in my age group, it alters gene expression of 1/3 of your genes to a more youthful state. That translates into age reversal, not anti-aging, which stops the aging process. We're talking age reversal. So, yes, we have patents. Yes, we have clinical studies. Yes, we have field results. Actually, X39 is turning back our biological clock, helping people look, feel, perform, and live younger. And for us baby boomers, this is really exciting. Okay, so now we're completing our presentation for the evening, and I'm going to turn things back to Anne. Thank you so much, Anne. And Anne and
Thank you,
Dr. Tom.
Robin.
You're welcome. Yeah, so we're going to bring on Dr. Tom. There he is. We are so blessed at
Exciting
Life. They
stuff.
have so many amazing healthcare practitioners. I mean, I am blessed to get to work with many of them. And I'm going to turn things over to you, Anne, and take it away.
Sure. So I'd love to introduce to you our practitioner this evening, Dr. Tom Acklin, who's a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for a good 16 years now, Tom. He studied neuroscience at St. George University School of Medicine. He's a past certified practitioner at the Center of Mind-Body Medicine. He absolutely is a proponent of eating food in its natural state. He also does a lot of work with microbiome, and is really a powerful, I mean, he does wonderful presentations every Thursday. And I am thrilled to have you here tonight, Tom. So welcome to our program this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to have you having me here. And Robin was outstanding. This is such an exciting time. It really is. It's a great time to be involved with these technologies and with this community.
Absolutely. You know, you and I know why you joined and how you joined, but how about you share with the audience what excited you about LifeWave? What made you sort of say, okay, I want to do this?
Well, the answer to that question just hit me about 5 minutes ago. Oh, 10 minutes ago. I was on a few minutes early, and I just made myself a promise to join this particular call every week 5 minutes before 9 Eastern time, because those testimonies are incredible. And that's what excited me, is seeing the variety of recovery and the variety of people getting their lives back. And, you know, the disease model has failed big time, big time. So the tide is definitely turning. There are a lot of great things that we can do for ourselves. And now all of a sudden, as Robin said, we have the holy grail of reverse aging technologies. And when I saw, I work with a lot of folks who are in very not good shape, and I work with a lot of folks who are in very good shape. It works at both ends of the spectrum.
Sure. So, Tom, you know, you and I both worked in the disease model. I mean, I worked longer than you did. You made a decision sooner than I did to move out of the disease model and to really shift into a more alternative model of aging, actually reverse aging, as Robin said. And you've connected with a lot of people over the past 3 years, 2.5 years, I think it is. And you've actually seen some powerful things happen. Would you mind sharing a few stories with our audience tonight?
Yeah, you're going to have to put the muzzle on me at some point. I'm a neurologist, and so, you know, I love stories that have to do with the noggin. And one of my very first was, we're not allowed to mention disease states or make medical claims. So I think everybody understands and has a loved one, somebody in their life whose face didn't work on one side and whose body didn't work on one side, like that. One of my favorites was an old buddy of mine who had almost instantaneous results. Once I realized what these technologies had done for me, which is better my athletic performance, stronger yoga work, better workouts, better sleep. And so I tested it out on me first, and I would suggest everybody do that. We're our own best guinea pig, and experience is the thing that gets contagious, right? So those stories really tell. So I put patches on my friend, really not expecting a whole lot, to tell you the truth. I was quite hopeful, but I certainly didn't expect to see something in the first day. When I met him, he was walking with a walker. About 6 hours later, he's turning the corner, walking toward me, holding his walker. That was stunning. That was one of my favorites.
So 6
I
hours
also,
after patching with X39, right?
that's right.
Wow.
We started with our other anti-inflammatory patch. I was careful with him, and I put another patch on him called Eon, which before X39 came along was our hottest technology. That was the company's top performing total body anti-inflammatory technology. And after I knew he could handle that for about an hour, I put an X39 on him. And then 6 hours later, boom. And I'm an autoimmune neurologist as well. I practiced at Georgetown in multiple sclerosis. So once I got free and stopped being in the disease model and actually healing multiple sclerosis and healing other autoimmune diseases, I got very excited. And so one of the ladies that I work with has the facial condition that goes along with an autoimmune disease, facial lesions, loss of hair, etc. And she has been using the technologies for about 3 years now. She was one of our very first and loved the energy that she got from X39. The results are cumulative. They're additive, and the consistency, if those who practice consistently anything get better at it, those who practice consistently these technologies get much better, much more quickly. And this young lady is absolutely thrilled to today being almost lesion free on her face, and loving her mental clarity.
Wow. What a powerful story, Tom. Wow. I remember you and we worked together with my brother. I mean, that was kind of one of my heart-centered connections with you, is that you worked with me with my brother who was very ill. And you worked with me with another client that had that condition that you worked with for so long. And we got her better. You and I worked together nutritionally, and she totally, all lesions were gone. I mean, it was amazing. The physician a year later was shocked at the changes in her. So it just goes to prove that food is medicine, supplementing, using this technology can have powerful benefits. As we heard Robin say, age reversal, everything changes. The cells get better, they improve, right, over time. What do you tell your clients when they start these patches? What kinds of things should they be doing? What's important for them to know when they start applying these patches?
How to pay attention is a big one. We have a health tracker form that I love to have people fill out before they even start. And if you can have your doc take a real good look at you, and don't ask your doc, can I use these? Because he's not going to know what they are, and he's probably going to say no. She might say yes, but most of the thick-headed ones, right, aren't wild about that. Pardon me. But keeping track is a very good idea. So take a good look at yourself in the mirror, take pictures, take a picture every month along the way with the same conditions, the same lighting conditions, the same. And as we said before, consistency. So it's important to be in communication. That's one way to keep it easy. I have one morning meeting that has promised to ask me when we gather for our mastermind. They ask me, am I patched up, right? So you can enroll help, right? You can put together a community of people who know what you're up to, and ask for accountability. That's always incredibly important. And the way we wear them, Robin mentioned, there's nothing in the patch. They're not transdermal. It's light. The body's light is the power source. And we wear them for 12 hours on and for 12 hours off. You can wear them for shorter times if the particular technology happens to instigate a result that might not be as friendly as we'd optimally like. And some people forget and leave them on longer. The off component is very important. So the 12 hours off is important. If you do leave it on for longer, make sure it's off for a full 12 hours before you put that same technology back on again. And hydration is very important. And that doesn't just mean water. It means nice electrolytes, good salts, all the stuff that's supposed to be dissolved in the water to make blood, right? And make body fluids. And so to the extent that we're eating well, you get even better traction. If you, like I said, if you already have good habits, you get traction from these technologies quite quickly. And little by little, that's another reason to keep track, is that you could see small changes that if you weren't keeping track and in conversation with the people around you, you might not notice, because we get used to the new quite quickly.
Tom, how important is water? Because I had somebody that I spoke to this week, and she said she wasn't getting the benefits from the patches. And I said to her, so how much water did you drink today? And she had this 16-ounce bottle, and she probably had 8 ounces of that all day long. You know, why wasn't she getting benefits? I mean,
Right. Well, she was getting benefits. So the technologies actually work immediately. They don't always make themselves evident to the senses that we're used to understanding immediately. And they don't always go to where we want them to go. They go to where the body most needs the help. And so it is working. And that's why it's important to do this. Promise yourself at least 90 days. But really between 90 and between 3 months and 6 months, it's almost impossible. I don't think I've ever had anybody use the patches regularly for 90 days and not see something. Most people see it early on, but how important is the water? Incredibly. That is the stuff of life in which everything that we consume decides to stay or leave, right? And so it's certainly important to be hydrated. You don't have to drink water. A lot of people don't like drinking water. You can drink other fluids and eat other foods that have water, of course. And so that's one way to do it, is the more real food you eat, the more you bring along a cell from that particular food stuff that is biologically pleased, right? And pleasing. So if Mother Nature brought it, the body's going to like it a lot better. It's going to have the right nutrients, going to have the right, et cetera, et cetera.
absolutely. And I tell, because I do some nutrition as well with you, and I tell my clients, try adding something to the water to give it flavor. You can put, lemon or lime, or you can even do cucumber water, or any of those kinds of things, which are really going to be beneficial, right? Because you're going to get some other benefits from some of those things that you add to your water. But how much would you say? How much water should somebody drink?
One thumbnail is half of your body weight in ounces per day, every 24 hours.
Right, great. Are there any contraindications with the LifeWave technology?
If you want to continue to feel bad, it's contraindicated that you use these technologies. And it's important if you are undergoing an intentional chemosuppression. So if you're working with a doc for some reason, and again, the doc has to make the decision. But no, because there's nothing in these patches, and there's nothing contraindicated. And every single condition that I have seen that I once called disease, now I have a solution.
Very nice.
Very
So
exciting.
what about age? Is there a certain age when someone shouldn't patch, or?
I haven't heard any contraindications to that. No, if you're alive, if you have a heartbeat, go for it. It's probably not a great idea to be aggressive with an infant, because you really want them to be communicating. And so I wouldn't use them on a newborn. And until the parent or caregiver can understand the reactions of the child and have an intuitive sense, I wouldn't, unless there's something seriously wrong. And then of course work with one of our amazing health practitioners here.
Mm. Yeah, Dr. Annabella, who's a pediatrician, I know she talks about using them on her children as well. And I know I have some grandchildren as well. And my granddaughter was here last week and she slept wrong and her neck was bothering her. And we patched her with some Eon and she got pretty instant results from using that patch. So it is quite amazing. So how long before somebody notices a change? How long does it take? You
Well,
mentioned 3 months, but
yeah, it's different for everybody. That's what we call it, bio-individualized medicine, because everybody goes at different speed. It depends on what you've accumulated, what kind of pathology you've been living with for the years over time. One great thumbnail. I don't know if you made it up or not, Anne, but we say often that give it at least a month for every decade you are old. So if you're 50 years old, plan on at least 5 months. And I like to ask people too, when was the last time you really felt great? When was the last time you thought you were in great shape? And if it was recently, or if they were in very good shape once and they happened to have an accident and a demise, a body that was once in very good shape remembers that quite quickly as well. You put the X39 on, all of a sudden you turn down the repair capacity, and the body says, oh yeah, I do know how to do that. I do know how to fix that. I do know how to take care of that.
I get that energy flow going again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a woman who's my neighbor here, and she just started a week ago on the X39, and she added the X49 as well. And I've been, getting in touch with her daily, and she sent me a text today, and I'd love to read it. She has a muscular condition, and of course, we don't name diagnoses, so I'm not going to go there, but it causes a lot of weakness for her, and she's lost a lot of muscle mass from this condition. But she writes, my nails are growing fast. My face skin cleared up. I have less pain overall, no more headaches, more energy. I've had some wicked vivid dreams, but I'm a vivid dreamer all of my life, but it just means I'm hitting this REM sleep again. And she says, my thighs have been warm and they had been cold for quite a while now. And I have this tingling every night since I started the patches. I virtually have no muscle tissue and really any body fat. But even my husband has been surprised to see how much stronger and even braver I've been of late. So that was, I was so excited to get that today.
Wonderful.
Isn't that what it's all about, Tom, right? For us is to really help people create a better life for themselves and to start to feel better and reverse things for them.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Anything else you'd like to share, Tom, before we start asking the audience to share some stories?
Well, if anybody's new and you haven't heard what X49 is, um, we have what we call stem cell technologies, and we have the other technologies that predate, and they're all fantastic. In fact, Valerie Mitchell said today, and I'm going to steal this. She said X39 and X49 are our reverse aging. Those are our anti-aging technologies. Everything else is great. Use it, to the extent that you want to, and have other conditions. But X39 is the king. And then 2 years later, along came X49. And X49 is also a stem cell instigator patch, upregulating a different copper peptide called AHK copper. And to me, that's what's exciting. That particular condition you're talking about, 39 and 49 together. 49 is for tissues, a little bit more for tissues that are already mature. So it's great for bone, it's great for muscle, not the least of which is our heart. It's great for brain. And we are certainly at a critical time on this planet for mental clarity. And that's one of the other things that really excites me and that drives me is, wow, you know what? Not only do we, and it's not just about the machine. It's not about putting this back together. We do that great. No kidding there. But putting together the machine of what I like to call humanity as organism is where we are connected, we're well. Humanity as organism thrives. And when we can put together our communication competence, our ability to tolerate each other, our ability to listen to each other, etc., That's what's going to save this planet, right? I think everybody's craving that.
Cell to cell communication, right? Human to human communication and connection. You're absolutely right, Tom. So, if you are going to share a story, I would ask you to please be brief, compliant, symptoms only. What happened before, what patch you used, and the benefits that you've gotten. So who's going to share, Tom? Do you want to stay on, and we might be able to answer a few questions afterwards
Sure.
in the chat?
Yeah.
Who would
So
like to share?
we have Allie who's ready to share. So go ahead and unmute your line, Allie.
She's one of my favorite stories already.
Oh my gosh. Her story is, wait till you read her book. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
I'm very, very, very thankful for these calls because I can do things that a neurosurgeon who took the brain tumor out and saved my life said I'd never be able to do. And the newest one, because of people sharing on these calls, I have I lost what controls your heartbeat and your breathing. And the cardiologist said it was going to get worse and worse and worse as I got older. On the patches, I can control it. It's not bad. And I can have my life back. And the other thing that happened was I had burning and acid all the time from the same condition. And I don't have anything hurting. I can even swallow water without hurting. It's been 12 years since I could do that.
That's so awesome, Allie. What a powerful share. That's so amazing. I mean, you've changed your life, right? You're moving in a wonderful direction. Yay. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Linda who's next. And Linda, you can unmute your line.
We can't see her. Oh, here she comes.
We're going to see her in a second here. Okay. You can turn your camera on and unmute your line, Linda.
Line is still muted, Linda.
Okay. Well, Linda's figuring that out. We'll go to Lavelle and then we'll come back to Linda. Okay.
Sure.
Great. So Lavelle, let's see. Where did you go? There he is. Okay. Unmute and there you go.
Hey, Dr. Acklin and Ann and
Hi, Lavelle.
Robin. Oh, okay, so I was just at the supermarket and I turned 65 last week, and the young lady, I said, I can get my senior discounts now. She said, you only look about 45. I said, I'm 65. So I've been reversing in age, I guess. But I want to share a story about a friend of ours that he had no feeling in the left side of his hand. And his wife also had a frozen shoulder. And she wore the patch in a half an hour. Her shoulder released after 2 years. But she went home and put the patch on her husband, who didn't have feeling on the left side of his body. At 10 o'clock, at 7 in the morning, he started touching her. And she turns around and says, what are you trying to be fresh? Because, they're married. And he says, honey, I can feel your body. And he hadn't felt her body in 2 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That is awesome. Beautiful share. Thank you, Lavelle.
So thank you for letting me share.
Okay.
Linda.
Next we have Cheryl.
Well, Linda is here.
Oh,
Hi,
Linda's here.
Ann.
Okay, Linda. Let's go to
So,
Linda. And then
My apologies.
apparently
I
people are
have a
not
new Apple
one second,
computer
one
and
second,
I don't know
Linda.
how to use it.
Apparently people are not seeing our guests this evening, but they're hearing them. So I don't know why, but continue on. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, so this is my second aha with the patches, but it's probably been about 2 weeks ago now. I started experiencing dizzy spells. So I started journaling my blood pressure, and I wasn't taking the medicine just because I thought, oh, maybe it's my time. So I'm journaling my blood pressure. I mean, it was in the 120s, maybe 130, the highest. So I took all of that documentation to my general physician 5 days ago and showed it to him. The nurse took my blood pressure. It was like 124 over, I don't know, 70. And I just ran in the office and sat down. So anyway, being the good doctor he is, he said, now I'm going to take your blood pressure. We were almost finished with the visit. He did, and literally it was 120 over 68. So that's really cool. Because
Awesome.
my medicine, he said, get rid of it. You don't need it. So you
Wow.
guys, you need to stay on these patches if you're on them, because 7 months to the day that I went in his office, I had been on the patches, and I'm still on the patch, X39. I do use X49 most of the time as well. But that's my story.
Thank you so much, Linda. What a wonderful, I mean, there's nothing like going to the doctor and getting those kind of results, right? It's powerful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. He said, let me tell you, you've come a long way. You're bouncing back.
Yay.
So,
Thank you
yeah.
for sharing. Who do we have
Thank you.
next, Robin? Cheryl.
We have Cheryl.
Hi, it's
Hi,
nice to be
Cheryl.
here this evening. I have been on the X39 patch for about 8 months, and I have an autoimmune deficiency that has a terminal diagnosis to it. And I've just been getting better and better every month, and side effects and things have gone away. And I just had some recent blood tests about 2 weeks ago, and every box was normal. And the most important one for me was my platelet count. And it's always been in the 80s, which is not very good. Should be about 140 to be normal. So I had it done about 3.5 weeks ago, and it was 117 up from 80. And then 2 weeks ago, it was at 128, and it's still rising. I mean, there is
Wow.
no other explanation but my X39 patch. My doctor just is awestruck.
Yay, thank you so much. I mean, that's exciting, right? I mean, you hear you go to the doctor, you leave that doctor's office and you are elated from what you've done, right? Yay. Made a wonderful decision to join and try these patches, and you're seeing the results as a result of that, Cheryl. So thank you for sharing that. Hey,
Okay.
who's next? Do we have somebody else?
I think Linda is next. And Linda?
Linda Laudermilk shared already.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see here.
I see Dolly's hand
We have
up, but
Dolly. Yes, Dolly, you're next. Okay, where is Dolly? Is she
While we're
here?
waiting for Dolly, I'll weigh in on Cheryl's one of those people who, Cheryl, I want to acknowledge you. You brought an indomitable spirit already. And you were, despite the conditions that you have labels for, that your docs told you would never recover from, you knew otherwise before you even met LifeWave, which was it was a stunning thing to meet you and know you. And one of the reasons that I love these technologies is working with high performance people and high skill set people. You get traction fast, right? Because you've been planting those seeds for a lot of years. Then all of a sudden you give it the sacred food and you're off to the races.
yeah, that belief system plays a huge role in what
Yeah.
happens. Absolutely. So Dolly,
Yes, can you hear me?
yes, we can.
Well, I'm on my phone and I've never done this on my phone because my husband and I just got new phones, so I'm glad it's working. My story, I have lots of stories, but my story is about my husband. He's 87. He has a garden. His garden is like around the edge of our backyard. We live in the desert, so it's about the size of most people's living rooms. But anyway, he loves to go out there and work, and he was out there and he feeds the hummingbirds, and the hummingbirds love him. They come and talk to him and scold him and all this kind of stuff. Well, he was cleaning the feeder or whatever he was doing, and a bee flew into his ear. So he's got his gloves on, his gardening gloves, he's got his glasses on, and he's working down here, and he went to shove that bee away. Well, his thumb went right into his eye. His glasses went flying, and he came in the house. When he did come in the house, his eye was purple black, red, magenta, purple black. It was horrible. I've never seen him get hurt. He's very, very healthy. I went on the patches and he saw how much more vibrant I am. So he had been on both the X39 and X49 for maybe a week. But I looked at that, and so I thought, well, I'll do an Eon. So I put an Eon right, because the whole thing was just terrible. But right here on the right here, it wasn't too bad. So I put an Eon there and left that on. And then we took it off, and we did that twice. And within 3 days, when we would go someplace, nobody would notice it and now it's been maybe 5 days, I don't know, but it's gone. It's absolutely amazing. It
Yeah.
reminds me of that story of that little boy who cut off his finger, and the parents had it sewn back on. And even though it turned black, within a couple of months, it was right back to normal. So, that's my story. And I would also
Thank you,
thank
Dolly.
all of
Thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah, can I thank all of you who have been my heroes, including you, Anne, and Dr. Tom and Dr. Pena. I really, really appreciate all of your comments and learning from you. Thank you.
You are so welcome, Dolly. And yeah, we get a lot of stories about scars healing, wound healing rapidly, things that usually take much longer to repair in half the amount of time. So it's pretty exciting. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Dolly.
You bet.
Jonathan, I think, is next.
Hi, guys. So I'm going to be real quick because I know the time is very valuable. I joined not long after Lavelle did. Lavelle got me involved in it. And 8 weeks into it, my cardiologist took me off my blood pressure medicine. So I trumped Linda just a little bit. But to continue with that, they checked that I was borderline sugar, if you know what I mean. That went away. A year and a half later, my ticker started ticking the way it should have ticked. A year and a half later. So stay in. If you're not feeling anything, keep staying there. It takes time. Different parts of our body takes longer to respond, but our body will respond. I'm going to stop right there because I have so much more. I'm 61. I'm playing basketball with guys 40 years younger than I am. So I'm feeling great. Thank you so much.
What great points you've made, Jonathan. Thank you for sharing that. So powerful and well done. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
thank you
do
for
we
your
have-
ticker.
Yes, for sure. And you know what? The points you made, Jonathan, too, as well, about we don't know what those stem cells are repairing, right? We don't know where the repair is going on in the body, and we have to give it time. And the more time you give it, the more results that you'll see and get. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. Who's next?
It's Connie, and I'm trying to get Connie's video on. There she
Oh,
is.
Hi, Connie.
We got
Hi.
rid of the two of you. Okay.
So I'm going to share something that Dr. Pena actually pointed out to me because I had shared it with him. And it's one of those things down the road that you just don't always think about, nor do you expect. I'll be 60 soon. And at 30 years of age, I found myself sitting in a periodontal office with a room full of 80-year-olds. wondering, how did I get here? You know, and genetically on both sides of my family, periodontal disease was the thing. And so fast forward to about 5-6 years ago, and they started wanting to pull teeth, and they said, you're going to lose all 4 of your back molars, every single one. So about 5 years ago or so, they started pulling, they got the bottom molars, and I said, let's just please wait on these top ones. And they said, well, you're going to lose them. They're barely in there. And so fast forward, I got on X39. When X49 came out, I got on X49. And it occurred to me recently that none of the dentists or the hygienists talk about this anymore. And so all of a sudden, you know, 3.5+ years into the technologies, and I asked them about 2 months ago, hey, you know, you used to talk about pulling these other teeth, that I was going to lose these top back molars, and nobody talks about it anymore. And they looked at the x-rays and they looked at me and they said, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I have got the bone in my jaw at almost 60 years of age, has regenerated itself, and I no longer am losing teeth. I no longer am in a state that I was in 30 years ago. So
Oh, that's fabulous,
Pretty
Connie.
fun.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. So powerful, such a powerful technology. Okay, do we still have another one?
You have one more.
One more, okay. And Tom, if you could put in the chat, you know, how people can go to your Thursday Zoom. People are asking about that Zoom. So if you want to put that in there so they know where to go, that'd be great.
Sure, that's on a private list distribution, so I will put my email in there.
Okay.
If anybody wants to send me an email and request to be added, happy to do that.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Andrea,
Andrea is here and available.
she's muted.
Let's see if you can unmute. Andrea? Did you find the unmute button? There you go. Okay.
Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, okay.
We'd love to see you if you want to put your video on.
Yes, it says the host has asked you to start your video. Do I click start my video or what is
Yep,
that? I don't know
Yep,
what.
you go to the video and you click it and we will get to see you.
Okay. Hello. Let's see. I know it's going slowly.
It's coming.
Hi.
Hi there, Andrea.
I'm just a little bit, I got started on with Julian Ford. I'll try to be really quick. I don't have a story yet. I'm hoping to have the story soon, but I just learned about the patches from my boss, Annalise, but Julian Ford got me more information and education about it. I have a really, really bad herniated disc that's on the verge of rupturing any day, and it could rupture anytime if I make the wrong move. And I've been going to so many places, trying not to hear the word surgery, and about stem cell, I've heard about all these different things, and they told me nothing will work. I have to have the surgery. And so I at least got a chance to put it off for a few months if I can. I didn't know with these patches, like how, I know everybody's different with the way it works on everyone. But when I brought it up to someone, you know, that I'm using these, let me start with these first, you know, I want to work on this and research it. They said it's not going to work for me at all. And that I'm going to basically end up in emergency, like room, an emergency surgery. So I'm still
already
using
a fan of your story, Andrea.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear you in a year. Please
Yes.
stay close and stay in communication. And I'll offer something. X39 and X49 are fantastic together. There's great synergy there. And Eon, which is our main anti-inflammatory. The very first technology that David created and launched LifeWave with was called Energy Enhancer. That's the one he worked with the Navy SEALs and the Stanford athletes. And what I would suggest is actually put a set of Energy Enhancer at the base of your spine, at the back of the bony pelvis, right?
Okay.
Tan on left, white on right. Put an Eon patch in the middle, in the center,
Okay.
and wear X39 and X49 somewhere. To the extent that we can create a beautiful supportive Faraday cage, right? Think of this as a bioelectric matrix of yum, right? And
Yes.
you can play around with that. Some days wear the patches on the back at the PSIS, some days on the front part of the bony pelvis, but play around with keeping that. And then our pain relief technology is called IceWave. And if you want to go even one further, if you do have pain, in addition to the fragility, you can span the lesion with a set of IceWave in various ways. Some days
Okay.
top bottom, some days bottom top.
Yes, and I've been using the ice. I've been using all because I got my boss got them for me. To start because I've been on a level pain 10 for 4 or 5 months now. Every day I cannot sleep but 2 hours a night. I can't do anything. I can barely drive, sit, stand, walk, and like it's just my whole life is like made it. And I have 2 kids I'm trying to care for that I'm scared to go under surgery for. So I'm really hoping that I can put this off surgery more and show them that this is working, without rupturing my disc.
Very great. I'm already grateful for your story, and thank your friend, Ms. Ford.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So it is well beyond the hour or the 45-minute period. So we are going to go ahead. Thank you, Andrea, for that. And I can't wait to hear your story because I think we're going to see some powerful changes over time.
Mhm.
So thank you all who shared tonight. I want to thank Dr. Tom for being here with us. I want to thank our co-host, if you will, Robin, for being here as well. And I want to thank you all for joining us. And we invite you to make sure you connect with whoever invited you here tonight. If you want to know more, if you want to get more information, and be sure to reach back out to them. So thank you all for being here. So good night, all. Good night, Dr. Tom.
Good
Bye,
night.
Robin.
Thanks so much, and thanks everybody.